Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of the Peace Clinic. Once again, my name is Janet Michael, and today we'll be treating a very important topic and a very interesting one. So, we will be talking about the role of technology in conflict management. So, if you're joining us, we would love to hear from you. We'd love to know your name, where you're joining us from, and also your contribution to this topic, the role of technology in conflict management. So before we proceed, we actually have a guest who will be joining us today by the name Mr. Samuel Orobosa Osarere. So I'll be bringing him before us right away. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Good evening, audience. It's a delight
Good
to be
evening,
here.
sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. So just a brief citation of Mr. Samuel. Mr. Samuel is a certified peace and security consultant. He's a chartered human resource consultant, a fellow Institute of Chartered Mediators and Reconciliators and Conciliators. Sorry, a member Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators, among so many others. So he has mediated several cases, including financial, family related disputes, and has resolved most of them. He has facilitated several training sections with the Nigerian Institute of Chartered Arbitrators. He has also facilitated several trainings with the Settlement House ADR Training Center. He's a consultant with GIZ on strengthening the system for dispute resolution. He has contributed and also hosted and facilitated several webinars on conflict resolution and management. So thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Janet. It's nice to be here. Thank you.
Yes. So today we are looking at the role of technology in conflict management. And I know for sure among our audience there might be, one or two individual who might, need a broad, maybe a background of what we are looking at, putting this topic into perspective. What is technology and what is conflict management, and how do these two relate? So can you help us do justice to that?
Thank you so much, Janet. Welcome, viewers, as we take a ride into unraveling the relationship between technology and conflict resolution. Welcome once again. Please permit me to begin on this note. We are looking at technology, we are looking at conflict, and we are looking at resolution. Now, basically, by way of definition, I believe that we all have a clear understanding of what technology is all about. But on a superficial level, technology can be defined as the application of knowledge to solve problems, the application of knowledge to create new capabilities. And over the years, there has been a drastic development, a significant metamorphosis in the trend of technology compared to what we had many years ago. One of the earliest form of technological advancement was in the early age, where men had to invent some basic tools to meet their needs, like the Stone Age was a form of development in technological phase. About 12,000 years ago, human transitioned from the hunter-gatherers to become settled farmers, and this led into technological growth in the agricultural sector. Moving from the growth in the agricultural sector, we came to the mental age. From there, we came to the scientific age. From the scientific age, we metamorphosed into the industrial revolution. From the industrial revolution, which began around the 18th century, we found ourselves from the middle of the 20th century in the information age. So technology began to evolve in different sectors from one phase to the another. And we are currently in the age of emerging technologies. Today, the technological space is so broad and wide that things we never thought was possible initially are now becoming possible. And some of the factors that have driven technology over the years, among them include necessity. The need to address basic needs has propelled technological growth. Curiosity and exploration has also propelled the growth in the technological sector. The resources we have at our disposal are no longer as sufficient as they used to be. In a bid to cope with scarce resources, we are prone to devise deliberate means to see how we can sustain survival. Economic reforms, social reforms has also fueled the growth in the technological age. And this has gotten some pluses and minuses as we have found ourselves. Now, let me quickly move on to, we are looking at the role of technology in conflict resolution. Talking about conflict can be basically defined as a state of disagreement or opposition, a struggle of context between one individual and the other, a position whereby our disposition do not tally. And so there are different types of conflict. It may be internal, it may be external, it may be intra-conflict, conflict within an individual, it may be inter-conflict, conflict between two individuals, two groups, two countries. Be that as it may, looking at resolution basically is the act of finding an answer or solution to a problem or conflict. That is the basic scope of resolution. Now, defining it together, the role of technology in conflict resolution simply means what value has technology brought on board as far as conflict resolution is concerned? What has the impact of technology brought in the space of conflict resolution? Looking at conflict resolution, there are different mechanisms, different strategies, different spectrums. Look in dispute resolution. Has technology increased the pace of dispute resolution, or has technology impeded the growth of technological resolution? From my own point of view, I can say that technology has done both good and bad in some cases. But to an extent, it has brought more positive vibes than negative vibes. But it is funny to say that some persons focus more on the positive than on the negative, while others focus more on the negative than on the positive. The turnaround came in this part of the world during the COVID period, where people were restricted and they could no longer go about their daily activities the way it ought to be. People began to think outside the box. There's this basic instinct in human, the instinct for survival. How do we survive? How do we move forward? How do we maintain our state as humans? And this snowballed the process of using technology to meet our daily needs. There are different forms of conflict resolution. There's the litigation, and there are others within the scope of the ADR, alternative dispute resolution. There's mediation, there's negotiation, there's arbitration, and a whole lot of others. Before the past administration left, talking about the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, he signed into law what we call the Arbitration and Mediation Act 2023, otherwise called the AMA. And officially, it has been enacted that the use of ODRO can be inculcated and appropriated within the space of ADRO. In other words, ODRO is now a welcome development in ADRO. Let's assume someone has a case in court and he needs to fly down to attend his court session. This was the case many years ago. But currently, there's visual hearing where individuals can stay in any part of the world and attend session. This is made possible with the use of technology. Technology has brought a lot of pluses to conflict resolution. The same way we don't need to see face to face before we can execute a contract, before we can establish connection. That is how it has been able to take away time, the barrier of time, the barrier of distance, the barrier of language in conflict resolution. In other words, when there is distance in terms of geographical location, it has a way of impeding conflict resolution. How can you resolve conflict when you've not established significant contact with the other disputant? So if I'm in Nigeria, as it were, in Edo State precisely, and we are in another state, with the aid of technology, we can establish contact and proceed with the process of resolving our dispute or conflict. Permit me to say at this point that conflict in itself is not as bad as what people think it is. Conflict is not as detrimental as people's opinion. What is detrimental is a function of your reaction to the conflict. It is being said that conflict is inevitable. We cannot avoid conflict. It is part of our lives. It is part of our daily activities. But the question is, how do we react to conflict? Our reaction, we either escalate the issue or it will de-escalate the tension. So in reacting to conflict, there are several tools that can be made use of. There are several tools that can be taken advantage of for the purpose of dispute resolution. Now, please permit me to quickly say this here now. The essence of conflict resolution is to enable parties achieve a goal. There must be a predetermined outcome. There must be a predetermined end. So conflict resolution is basically a process that an individual takes party through in order for them to achieve a goal to find a common ground within the disputants. In other words, not that one side take it all, but that all parties concerned can be integrated, finding themselves located in a common ground. Conflict resolution takes place in a process. There's a process in which it is taken through, and technology also plays a role here. Now, when I speak about goal talks about where you have not yet achieved, what you have not yet achieved, what you've not yet attained, but you are able to enumerate and create a forecast. If there's a dispute and an individual, with the aid of technology, he or she can sample opinions from the disputants and run an analysis on their opinion and begin to see how the parties, the disputants, can be guided to achieve a common ground. The process can take place in a virtual means. We are going green. We don't need to meet physically before we can process. So the process can take place in a virtual means. The process can take place via technology. People can be in so many places at the same time. Executive directors can attend 2-3 meetings at the same time while they are still seated in one place. So technology has brought a big boost in the process of dispute resolution. Talking about the outcome, I'm sitting where I am. I can easily send any document to any person in any place of the world to quickly go through and make inputs. And so technology saves time. I don't need to meet you where you are. The cost of transportation has been taken care of by the use of technology. It saves time, it saves resources. But be that as it may, we must be sincere to ourselves that technology only produces what the users want it to produce. It has been said, whatever has an advantage may likely have a disadvantage. Dispute resolution is not all about winning and winning and winning. It's about how we can accommodate each other. To what extent can we let go for the other person to be appreciated? To what extent can we let go for the other person to be compensated? The use of there are disputes that have been resolved through a simple phone call. There are disputes that have been resolved through the exchange of text messages. Disputes can be resolved through the exchange of emails. Dispute can be resolved through visual means. To a large extent, it adds a plus, but to a large extent, technology can also be a setback. Let me quickly talk about this. There was a particular case that we handled. It was between two parties, and somebody said, I did not write this document. This document was not written by me, and the other party carried out a transaction based on the authority given by the initial party. At the end of the day, a forensic expert was called in, and using forensic means, they were able to identify the actual owner of that handwriting, if it was exactly the person they claimed or not. So technology puts to rest some issues, some disputes that we may not be rationally enabled enough to put to rest. Let me continue by stating some facts. Technology makes accessibility and convenience very easy. Technology can make conflict resolution processes more accessible and convenient. We have several online platforms. Permit me to quickly say this. There are some institutes that have taken a bold step forward to put up some online platforms. You can be sitting at the comfort of your homes and just engage in some online platforms and get your dispute resolved. Many corporations, many conglomerates, they have IT assisted dispute resolution channels where you can sit at the comfort of your home, lay your complaints, and within a twinkle of an eye, you get replies. Many persons don't need to go to the airport to make physical bookings. They can make bookings from the comfort of their homes. Many persons don't need to go to restaurants to get meals. They can order it from the comfort of their homes. So many things have been done through the use of technology. And the same vein, we have found ourselves in some situation whereby some disputes exist because of the use of technology. So, reiterating the fact I established earlier, that the outcome of a technological process is at the instance of those handling it. If it finds itself in the hands of a rational mind, it will add value to a process. But if it finds itself in the hands of someone that is irrational, instead of adding value, reverse may be the case. If you go online, if you just Google www.odr.icmcng.org, a portal will open. You lay your complaint, and within 48 hours, you get a response on how your issues will be handled. As simple as it is. So, technology has enabled some persons to take off from their shoulders the burden of handling some disputes. When you go online, just Google www.edostatemoney.co.org. A portal will open. All you need to do is to lay your complaint, and professionals are there to help you attend to your issues. In other words, technology has become a source of employment for a large number of persons. Some persons from the comfort of their home, they are networking so many places. networking and navigating throughout the globe. But funny enough, someone once said, many people that have handsets, they only know less than 10% of the features of what they have in their hand. They can do much more than they are currently doing. Remember, we are looking at the role of technology in conflict resolution processes. Conflict resolution is basically an attempt to de escalate tension and refocus the minds of disputants on the way forward. Technology can enhance efficiency and transparency. Where you have some disparities in some financial records, there are softwares. Once you upload variables in the softwares, the accurate figure will come up. Let me use the most basic form of technology in computation. You have your calculator. It is expected that if the inputs are accurate, the output must be accurate. And that brings to the fore that as far as technology is concerned, some people will say it is garbage in and garbage out. That means without human effort, technology cannot run on its own. Technology needs to be assisted by human effort. No matter how it has been programmed to work, no matter how it has been configured to work, there's still the human effort, human input in it. And so those that are thinking that in no distant time, AI will take over humans, it may not be able to do that because it cannot exist without human input. The point we are still looking at is that technology can aid efficiency and transparency. Once it is uploaded, the outcome is sacrosanct. One of the commonest examples we can look at is the issue of paternity. It is usually believed that when the issue of paternity is in doubt, they go for paternity test, and when the result comes out, everybody tends to stick to the outcome of that result. Why? Because they have believed that technology has assisted them in unraveling that dispute. There are so many instances we can look at whereby someone can just pick a soil sample and with the aid of some technological gadget, give correct accuracy on what has happened. We've had issues whereby even people that are dead are assumed to undergo some medical processes just for the purpose of resolving some issues. Technology within the space of dispute resolution can aid communication and collaboration. There may be the need to get some precise facts in an issue. Just a phone call can supply you what you're looking for. There may be the need to get the attention of someone, making input into what you are doing. Just a video call to that person makes it to look as if the person is right there with you. So there are some certain tools that can enhance communication, that can enhance collaboration. I can be working on a document. I can send that same document to you. You make your input, you return it back to me. It saves time. It enhances communication and collaboration. This can foster active listening, understanding, and enhance joint problem solving. In some cases, technology can analyze data faster than humans. People that are having disputes in different parts of the world can find themselves in a common room via technological means for the process of dispute resolution. What are we saying? That technology is a plus within the dispute resolution phase. But there are still some drawbacks. And what is this drawback? Human connection and empathy. Remember, if the programming is wrong, the process may be faulty and the outcome will be wrong. So there's this still human interface as far as technology is concerned. We have had instances whereby someone goes to a medical facility for the purpose of test, and he or she gets a result, a wrong result. That was a human error. Now, we are looking at digital divide and equity. Now, access to technology is not broad based. There are some persons that can take advantage of others based on the level of their technological illiteracy. What are we saying? Some may have undue advantage over others because of the level of their technological advancement. Some persons are tech savvy, others are not tech savvy, and this creates an imbalance. We've seen where people are being cloned to carry out some activities and they are being recorded. You will claim that Mr. XYZ carried that act, but meanwhile, Mr. XYZ, at the time that act was being carried out, was somewhere else. Somebody's voice can be used to replace somebody else. Somebody's face can be used to replace somebody else. They can get a picture out, get a video out, portray the activity of an individual when that person did not even do such a thing. We've heard of so many cases that celebrities' accounts have been hacked. We've heard of many cases whereby some bank accounts have been hacked. Why? This is technology at work. And when an individual's bank account has been hacked, that is conflict on its own. Technology is creating conflict because those that have the information, those that have the know-how, have decided to deploy their intellect in a negative angle. The list is endless. Based on jurisdiction, there are some features that may be active in some particular jurisdiction that may not be active in other jurisdiction. This can serve as limitation in the use of technology. Noble laws, as distinguished audience, we are emphasizing the fact that whoever is in charge of the process can determine the impact the process will have. He who pays the piper dictates the tune and not just the piper itself. So technology is good. Technology is a plus. Who is in charge of the process? A car cannot drive itself except if it has had the features embedded in him to drive itself. And even those features are features that were produced and configured by humans. No, technology can be a valuable tool in resolving conflict, but it is not a magic bullet. It may not just work precisely every time the same way. It may be vulnerable most times because some technological devices have a particular capacity they can work on. A technological device have its validity period after which it needs to be reconfigured. Now, the key is to use technology strategically and ethically. We've seen where people copy the signatures of other persons, Photoshop it using graphics embedded in other plain document, carrying out all manner of transaction. It is very easy. Now, a survey was carried out, I think, in the year 2021, precisely in the month of March. And the aim of the survey was to assess the number of internet subscribers in Nigeria. According to that survey, as at March 2021, it was recorded that about 144.9 million subscribers exist in Nigeria, according to the survey. And they were able to get a report of 10 states with the highest internet subscribers. The report goes to say that in Lagos State, we had about 17.6 million internet subscribers. followed by Ogun State, which had about 8.7 million subscribers. Kano State came third, about 8.3 million subscribers. Oyo came fourth, 7.8 million subscribers. Kaduna, 6.63 million subscribers. FCT, 6.62 million subscribers. River State, 5.2 million subscribers. Edo State, 5.18 million subscribers. Delta State, 5.04 million subscribers. Niger State, 4.8 million subscribers. Now, based on that report, it became obvious that in this part of the world, we have people, young minds that are fully active as far as the internet space is concerned. I remember some time ago, the government had to ban a particular software, and the youth had a way of going around it because we are technologically active. But the question is, our activeness and the major role we are playing in terms of technology, how much impact has it brought to us as individuals? There are people who are now multimillionaires because of the use of technology. There are people that have made enough wealth and fortune for themselves because of their access to technology and their usage of technology. But there are some persons that have that same access to technology. And what do? They see themselves lacking behind because when purpose is not known, it has been said that abuse is inevitable. I was discussing with some folks, and one of them said some persons create challenge and demand so that their services will be sought for. Someone can easily hack into the database of a particular company just because they want to be called to see how they can provide solution to that same company. Technology is a plus to humanity, but the extent to which we can draw advantage from technology depends on the individuals that have access to this technology and what they can use as far as is concerned. Now, let me quickly hop on. There's what we call online dispute resolution. Online dispute resolution, purely technological based. This is making good use of technology to help disputants find solution to their disputes. Let me quickly say that some disputes may not be fully resolved, but at best they can be managed. Some disputes are best managed, while some others can be resolved. So there's a thin line between resolution of dispute and management of dispute, but all are part and parcel of the attempts being made by dispute resolvers to see how we can make a headway in the process of dispute resolution. Now, when a dispute emanates and originates, it brings to our mind that the parties involved, the disputants, simply have difference in perception. Difference in perception. I can see a 6 because of where I'm sitting. Someone sitting at another position, we see a 9. Now, as long as we are sitting in the same position, our understanding will never be the same. I'm seeing 6, he's seeing 9. The fact is, am I correct? Yes, because of what I'm seeing. Is the other party correct? Yes, because of what he's saying. As long as we maintain our position, we hold stick to what we are seeing. But when we swap position, we now discover that what I'm saying, because of what I'm saying, is different from what the other person is saying because of what he's saying. So by technological means, we can create a flip. We can help parties create a flip. Why not go that way and look at it from this angle? Why not go that way and look at it from this angle? And to a rational mind, once there's a flip in mentality, we're already making headway. Many persons are specialists in digging technicalities, but dispute resolution acknowledges these complexities. Dispute resolution acknowledges the complexity of the issue, but has it at the back of our mind. How do we move forward? So when issues come, one of the basic things technological subscribers do is to diagnose the issue. We have had several cases that was resolved just with a phone call, the use of technology. Diagnosis talks about clarifying some issues, assessing the problem, understanding the conflict, looking at the issues. Don't forget, in conflict resolution, many people look at the people involved and think the people involved are the problem. But when you are resolving a dispute, you must separate the persons from the problem. See how you can isolate it and join forces to deal with the issues. So the number one stage is diagnosis, followed by negotiation, followed by mediation, evaluation. These are the stages in online dispute resolution. Having said this much, please permit me to quickly come up and say there are some persons that have not gone to the bank for over a year. There are some persons that have not gone to the bank for over 6 months. There are some persons that have not gone to the bank, let's say over 3 months. From the comfort of their home, they can carry out transactions. They can engage in transactions. Why? Because of the use of technology. And that same technology is being used by some set of persons to defraud other persons. Over time, we usually get calls. Somebody called me a few days ago, asked me, one of the institutes I belong to, and said, are we having a group meeting this evening? And I told the person, no. We have scheduled a meeting last Saturday of this month. So there's no meeting today. Why are you asking? And he said to me, someone called him saying that he has sent a link to him, and he should use that link to access the meeting that we are going to be having that evening. And he was puzzled. If truly we are having a group meeting, why not place the link on the group chat for everyone to see? And he called out the other and said, no, he has selected some individuals that will be part of that meeting, and you happen to be one of them. And when he called, oh, these are the normal guys. This is exactly what they do. Once you give them access, they hack your account and begin to perpetrate all manner of nuisance. This is technology. Creating disputes, creating acrimony, creating discord among persons. So the role actually depends on the persons involved. Somebody said a knife can serve dual purpose. A knife can be used in an advantageous manner. Also, a knife can be used to create havoc and wreak harm. That is exactly what technology does. Technology can be used to serve as a plus. It can also be used to serve as a minus. But the role in dispute resolution over the years is enormous and massive. Through the aid of technology, a lot of dispute has been resolved. Time has been saved, resources have been saved, and a whole lot of others. Now, we all know that through the age of technology, you can forecast weather. You can make financial forecasts. Looking at a company that is in existence, you can tell in the next 5, 10 years, will this company be healthy? Can they still be sane enough to carry out transaction? With that feasibility study and financial forecast, you can effectively advise and counsel parties on how they can relate with some individuals and with some companies. Thank you so much. I think I've spent 40 minutes. I wouldn't know if Madam Jane has anything to say before I proceed. Janet, thank you so much for that time. Janet, do I still have the floor or you want to ask some questions? Hello, Janet. All right, okay. I think let me continue. Thank you so much. I'll just continue. Thank you so much. Now looking at there are some automated processes. We have tools like what they call the e-discovery. We have document analysis. We have some softwares that have been streamlined to carry out some specific tasks. You have in the legal field, there are some softwares that you can use to enhance judgment and helping you to track. They call it case management system. It helps you to track some cases over a period of time. These are automated processes. That is a function of technology that adds value to the process. Increased communication can be brought to bear by the use of technology. Reduce administrative burdens, transparency, fairness, a whole lot of issues can be brought on board to resolve disputes. We have what they call the mediation chat box. And the mediation chat box, these are tools that can guide parties through conflict resolutions. We have document sharing, we have creating solutions, we have different scenarios that parties can go through for the purpose of effective dispute resolution processes. Amongst all the advantages, amongst all the disadvantages of technology, there are some challenges that we face on a daily basis. One of them talks about network. Many internet-based services are affected by epileptic network. Most times you discover that you may not be able to access what you should have been accessing based on network. Network fluctuation. There's this story of someone that was being operated in a theater, and while the operation was going on, there was loss of power, and you know what will happen in that process. So, network fluctuation, epileptic power can have adverse impact on technology and on skillness of the practitioner. Persons that have not been properly skilled, when they have access to some gadgets and to some devices, they may not be able to maximize the use from such devices. So on a general note, we are of the opinion that technology has brought great addition, has brought great value in the process of conflict resolution because of all the things I had mentioned early enough. But there are still some challenges. Finally, let me reiterate that the outcome of technology is at the instance of the persons that are using it. Technology is dual. It can be a plus, it can be a minus, based on who is in charge of it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. You've actually spoken extensively on the significant influence, the significance of technology when it comes to conflict management. You spoke about issues concerning employment, how technology has actually helped to create employment, to create efficiency and the likes of them. But someone might actually be wondering, technology in itself is broad. When we talk about technology, it has to do with a wide range of processes, methods, device to actually help create efficiency and also new possibilities. But in a clear sense, what exactly are those tools that are being used when it comes to technology and conflict resolution? What are those specific tools? Are there tools that okay our audience can have a sense of, oh, This tool I have in my hand, this tool I actually have in my reach, can actually be used when it comes to conflict management and conflict resolution.
Thank you very much. Let me just begin by saying technology may actually mean different things in different professions. So we are looking at what tool do I have at my disposal that will assist me in resolving a conflict in case I am challenged with one. Now, if you look at the agricultural sector, there are tools, there are gadgets that have been manufactured to resolve issues there. Looking at the medical sector, there are tools there. But let us look at it generally. Conflict arise most especially when we have unmet goals. Conflict arise when we are unable to get what we have decided or what we have demanded to get. So if I have conflict, what are the channels that I can use? I made mention of one of the institutes that I belong to. They have an online portal. This online portal, when you have any dispute, just go to Google and type in your dispute, the dispute you have, www.odr.icmcng.org. Once you click, you type in your dispute and you will get a response less than 48 hours. We also have another online platform, www.edostatemulti.court.org. When you click on this platform, you will have people, professionals that will attend to you. Now, let me quickly reiterate, we have the consumer rights platforms. There are so many platforms. Every bank has its own online platform. Every industry have their own online platform. Every establishment have their own online platform. So whatever the conflict is, we have different institutes. The Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management is not left out. We have our social media handles, and these are handles you can take advantage to. Let me quickly say this. Most disputes actually arise because people need people to talk to. Most disputes actually arise because persons have been misunderstood. There are different ADRO institutes in almost every state in Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken, at about between 22 to 23 states in Nigeria. We have what we call the multi-door court houses. And these multi-door court houses are ADRO centers that are able to assist parties in resolving their dispute. And let me quickly advocate here. Whenever we are going into any contractual agreements with any party, please, our one ADRO clause. If you want to go into business with any institute, any individual, any company, please, while you are drafting the agreement for the contract, indicate ADRO clauses. These are clauses that will help you in case there's a dispute, in case there's a friction during the process of that contract. You are simply saying, we are going to resolve this dispute using ADR. So it begins from your contract agreement. Include ADR clauses in your contract agreement. Multi-door court houses, they are in almost every state in Nigeria. We also have private ADR practitioners. You can go online, you can Google them. Individuals that have been trained and certified by ADR institutes that have been licensed for the purpose of dispute resolution. In our noble, we have so many ambassadors of peace. What are their duties? Their duties are there to see how they can help people coexist. You have the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. You have the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators. You have so many institutes that are there that you can reach out to. And I'm sure before the end of this program, the anchor, you may need to flag our social media handle so that people can visit us and take where you have medicine as a profession, the same way you have law as a profession, engineering as a profession. Dispute resolution is a big time profession in this age. There are people, their job is simply in the dispute resolution space. That is what they do. That is what gives them a living. That is their practice. So, the same way you call for lawyers, the same way you call for engineers, the same way you call for medical doctors, you can reach out to dispute resolution experts that can help you resolve those disputes outside the four walls of litigation. It is not every issue that should go to court. Most issues can be resolved outside court using alternative dispute resolution mechanism. Thank you so much. Any other question,
Thank you.
please? I hope
Thank you
I've been
very
able to
much.
answer your question.
Yes, you have. Yes, thank you very much. So, during your your talk, you actually spoke about how technology actually helps in communication when it comes to conflict resolution and the conflict management. Now, bringing it into real life situations, we have so many conflicts around us, so many conflicts around the world. We have economic conflict, which we as a nation are currently going into. We have the conflict between Israel and Gaza. We also have the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. So now bringing this into perspective, how has technology actually helped to resolve conflict in real life situations? I think we also have a question from one of our audience in that line. So I'll just quickly project it right away. So we have a question from John. Mr. John says, let's look at the war between countries. How can we use technology to resolve their issue?
Thank
So
you
how,
so
how
much.
far has technology gone in resolving this conflict?
Thank you so much. In a twist, I think people have found a way of using technology to escalate tension instead of using technology to de-escalate tension. Now, looking at different countries, there are countries that have been at war for over a year now. How can we use technology to resolve these disputes? Now, remember in the early stage of this talk, we said that technological means different things to different people. What actually is the bone of contention? There's what they call audience appropriate approach, AAA, audience appropriate approach. There's also what we call target sensitive approach, TSA. Before you look for a solution, you must have been able to identify the cause. What are the underlying issues that brought about this war? You can't give someone drug for headache when the person is complaining of eye problem. What are the issues that escalated tension? What are the issues that now, if these people cannot see face to face, that is where some online platform comes in. I may be scared to come to your zone because I may be afraid that you will hurt me. You may be afraid to come to my zone because you are afraid that I will hurt you. We may not be able to meet physically, but stakeholders in a meeting through the aid of technology, we can meet in the same space and talk about our issues. Technology can bring people in different geographical locations into one social room, into one virtual room for them to express their minds. That is a big plus that technology can bring in resolving issues. Don't forget,